The success of 2015's Inside Out was not a fluke. The animated feature film had everything necessary to be a smash hit at the box office. This Pixar film explores the various emotions inside a young girl named Riley, and how she uses those emotions to navigate major life changes.
We're from the new Disney Pixar movie Inside Out.
Good start, not great.
9 years later, Inside Out 2 has proven to be a perfect sequel to the first one.
Our little girl's growing up so fast. I think that's overstating things a bit.
The second movie has currently surpassed $1 billion at the box office.
Like quitting. That's what I'm doing. Sure, it's the coward's way out, but this coward's gonna survive.
Making this video about how great Inside Out 2 is made me revisit the first one, and I have to admit, the movie is solid. It's had a perfect combination of several key elements, all working in harmony to create an unforgettable experience. A great movie usually tells a well-crafted, engaging story, memorable characters that feel real and relatable, and it doesn't get much more realistic than Inside Out, since the movie focuses on our day-to-day emotions. There's a reason we all have a wide range of emotions. We need them. Some of the basic types of human emotions are happiness. It's often defined as a pleasant emotional state that is characterized by feeling of contentment, joy, gratification, satisfaction, and well-being. Sadness, which is a direct opposite of joy or happiness. It's another type of emotion, often defined as a transient emotional state characterized by feeling of disappointment, grief, hopelessness, disinterest, and dampened mood. Like other emotions, sadness is something that all people experience from time to time. Another core emotion is fear. Fear is a powerful emotion that can also play an important role in our survival. When you face some sort of danger or experience fear, you go through what is known as fight or flight response. Disgust, which is another basic human emotion. It gives us a sense of revulsion from a number of things, including an unpleasant taste, sight, or smell. Anger, which is a very powerful human emotion characterized by hostility, agitation, and frustration. Like fear, anger can affect the body's fight or flight response. The Inside Out movie outlined these emotions perfectly to a T, giving us a point of view of Riley's basic emotions portrayed by their various colors. Joy having a bright golden skin tone, sadness having a calm blue skin tone, fear having a light purple skin, disgust obviously having a green skin tone, and anger being very bright red.
We'll eat our dinner right after you eat this.
In the first Inside Out movie, it made clear how the other emotions in Riley's head villainize sadness, especially joy, the direct opposite of sadness.
Your job is to make sure that all the sadness stays inside of it.
The animated film showed viewers how important every single emotion was and why it's perfectly fine to experience sadness in times of change. How vital is sadness to a human being? Sadness plays a vital and often misunderstood role in our lives. While it is typically seen as a negative emotion, it serves important psychological, emotional, and social functions that contribute to our overall well-being and personal growth. Life is made up of a range of emotions, and sadness is part of the spectrum. Experiencing sadness allows us to appreciate happiness. If you only experience positive emotions, their significance will diminish without the contrast of sadness. That's why Inside Out was so much more than just an animated feature film. It's the most relatable piece of entertainment. As long as you're a human being, young or old, Inside Out speaks to you.
Let's play some hockey!
The opening of this movie is just powerful. The short scene about Riley's hockey game was just to depict the various titular characters to a T. Whilst joy is still the main emotion in control of Riley, anger gives Riley the drive and passion to be competitive and play better. Fear keeps Riley safe from any physical danger, ensuring she remembers all the necessary safety precautions. Disgust also makes Riley disgusted by things that are unhealthy for her, and sadness gives Riley a chance to be emotional and embrace unfortunate events. A new concept concept that was added in this movie was Riley's sense of self, which is powered by her beliefs. Your beliefs are fundamental in shaping your identity, influencing how you think, behave, and relate to others. They become the foundation upon which your sense of self is built and can either empower or limit your potential. If you hold positive beliefs about your abilities, values, or worth, you are likely to have a higher self-esteem and confidence. On the other hand, limiting on negative beliefs can lead to a diminished sense of self. This will make much more sense in the latter parts of this movie. So after a good game, Riley and her friends get invited to a 3-day hockey skills camp, and these 3 days will be a life-changing event for Riley and her emotions. Back at home, her parents are proud of her for being able to push herself to become a better hockey player. But in the midst of the celebration, Riley gets anxious about failing at camp and missing out on a huge opportunity. This was the first time Riley experienced a new emotion, anxiety.
I'm anxiety. I'm one of Riley's new emotions, and we are just super jazzed to be here.
The emotions in her head took notice of this and got rid of that memory. In fact, they tossed out every bad memory of Riley. This move by the emotions was obviously for Riley's own good. We all have the not so great memories we wish we could get rid of, but the bad memories also adds up to the nurturing of a person. The following day, Riley enters into puberty, and the emotions had no idea what it meant. The headquarters was expanded for the new set of emotions, and there was even a puberty is messy notice, meaning Riley was having a fresh period, and this was evidently true due to the fact that Riley woke up very emotional. Even her own emotions were surprised about how emotional Riley was.
Overreact much?
I barely touched it.
As Riley makes her way into the camp, she bumps into Valentino Ortiz, a senior hockey player. Riley's interaction with Valentino was an emotional roller coaster. This is where we get introduced to Riley's new emotions: anxiety, envy, embarrassment, boredom, and
Nostalgia. You aren't supposed to be here yet.
Anxiety is the antagonist in this movie. The very first interaction anxiety has with the old emotions gives a vivid description of what a character is: overly concerning, has no respect for boundaries, all over the place, and simply annoying. Within the shortest possible time, anxiety takes charge over Riley and helps her navigate some awkward encounters. This gains anxiety praise and admiration from the fellow emotions.
I wish I could do that.
Oh, you guys.
Unlike Joy, anxiety wanted to take absolute control, and this was evident when anxiety proposed that Riley ditches her friends so she can give her full attention to the new friends she met at the camp. Joy, on the other hand, wanted Riley to bond with her friends. This created a power struggle between the two emotions, when anxiety completely ripped out Riley's sense of self so she can comfortably ditch her friends for good. Soon enough, the old emotions stood against anxiety, making it clear how they didn't want anxiety to send an anxious memory of Riley into a belief system. The old emotions were bundled up by embarrassment, and anxiety dropped an antagonistic monologue.
You just aren't what she needs anymore, Joy.
The takeover was complete, and anxiety was now in full control of Riley. This poses the question: what happens when someone is overtaken by anxiety?
In certain situations, such as before an important exam or waiting to hear results from a health checkup, feeling anxious is normal. However, when anxiety becomes our daily experience and it interferes with us living happy and healthy lives, that's when it becomes more challenging.
Anxiety gets to work and starts building a new sense of self for Riley, using only anxious memories, and soon enough, we get to learn why one emotion taking full control of a person is a recipe for disaster. Anxiety obviously wants the best for Riley, but due to her being so concerned about unfortunate events which could happen to Riley, anxiety became tunnel visioned. When someone is tunnel visioned, they focus intensely on one aspect of a problem while ignoring other important details or alternative solutions. This can result in incomplete or one-sided decisions that don't account for the bigger picture. By focusing on a single issue, tunnel vision can amplify stress and anxiety. The peak of anxiety's control came into play when it was time for the final game to decide who joins the hockey team. During the game, Riley played very selfishly, wanting to score all the points by herself. She even goes on to tackle her own teammates for the ball at some point. The obsession of anxiety is just too much.
Might be a little mad at us, but they'll all forgive us when we make the team.
That's the worst thing you can do if you want to be in a team. As anxiety thought she was blowing the competition and pushing Riley to play better, she didn't know Riley's dream of being in a team would be jeopardized for how she's selfishly playing. Finally, The old emotions were able to make it back to headquarters, and this was the all is lost moment. Anxiety is going on a rampage. The other emotions don't know what to do. Riley is experiencing the physical symptoms of anxiety: increased heart rate, rapid breathing, sweating, shaking or trembling, pressure in the chest, and so much more. Anxiety is filled up with a toxic sense of responsibility, feeling like it's up to her to make Riley the best version of herself, pushing her to the ultimate limits and nearly wrecking her life. The toxic feeling of responsibility refers to an overwhelming sense of obligation to control or manage everything around you. This mindset can lead to emotional distress, burnout, and strained relationships as it pushes the individual beyond their emotional and physical limits.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to protect her.
This is one core lesson this movie is trying to teach. In this life, some things will be beyond your control, and it's fine. Let it go. And this is why Inside Out 2 is probably the best thing released this year.
Shawty say she no go up in for the bros. My bros know they play, they go up in and toss. Yeah, I know they